Hi and welcome to the Northwest Carp and Angler's Diary fishing blog. Once upon a time, a long time ago, way back in the 1990s, the early 1990s, I used to fish a syndicate water called Burton Mere. Now during my time on there from 89 to 93, the owner of the lakes built some stock ponds, and one day he was walking around the stock ponds and he had a bucket, big bucket and a scoop, and he was lashing feed in for the fish. I thought, crikey, he's putting loads of that in. I wonder what it is. So me being me, of course, I just went and asked him, and he told me, oh, it's wheat. I'm feeding me fish wheat. And he said it's a really good bait as well. Like he said, they love the stuff. So me being me, I've got to try wheat as a bait. And all those years ago I tried wheat and it turned out to be very good, and I've used it on and off since. It's one of those particles that I kind of fish in rotation. So I've used it before quite a few times over the last 30 odd years, and I thought it's time I did a video on it. So this video is about preparing wheat for carp fishing. So we're gonna go back to my place, take a look at the wheat in the sack, take a look at the grains, and then we'll go to the kitchen, prepare it, and then we'll be back here to look at presentation and to see if we can catch a few fish with it. So let's go back to my gaff and take a look at wheat for carp fishing. Okay, so for this video we're going to take a good look at wheat. That's this stuff here. In particular, this is recleaned wheat. Let's take a look. Okay, so this is recleaned wheat. Now what it means by wheat that's recleaned is when it goes through a combine harvester and it's actually harvested, it gets cleaned and then it gets recleaned afterwards. And the reason being, once the grains are harvested, they've got all kinds of other rubbish in it as well. So there might be weeds in the field and bits of stems and stuff like that, and wheat that's been recleaned has got them out, so it's just the grain. Okay, so that's what they mean by recleaned wheat. It's actually really good, and these are nice clean grains. Now, as you can see, the price for this 20 kilo sack is £7.99. Now when they put that through with the barcode on it, I only paid £7.50 for it. So £7.50 for 20 kilos of bait. That's even cheaper than maize, which is about what, £8.50, something like that. So this is really cheap, and it's a very good bait. So let's have a look at how we prepare wheat for carp fishing. Okay, so this is wheat. As you can see, lovely clean grains because it's been recleaned, and that's just the way we like it. Now normally from here, what would happen to this wheat is it would be ground down into flour and used to make bread, but we've got a far better purpose for it than that. We're going to prepare it for carp fishing and then go and catch a carp with it. Let's take a look how it's done. Okay, so here's me wheat and here's me bucket. So all I'm going to do is I've got this little cup off the flask, and all I'm going to do is just probably a bit too much that. All I'm going to do is put a couple of inches in the bucket. Come and take a lock at this. Okay, so as you can see, there's just a few inches in the bucket. That's all there is. And, as with all particles, it's just a case of soak it for 24 hours and then boil it. And in the case of wheat, we're going to boil it for 10 minutes. It doesn't quite need as much as hemp and other particles like that. Just 10 minutes will do it. Okay, so we'll come back to that in 24 hours after I put some water on it, and then we'll see what it looks like, and then we'll boil it up. Okay, so there we go. It's soaking in water. Again, I've put a lot more water on there than there is wheat, so about 3 times the height of the wheat. So if you've got an inch of wheat in the bucket, then you want about 3 or 4 inches of water on top of it, because it's going to expand. and we don't want it running out of water or soaking all the water up, so we make sure we put plenty in. But that's done. We're going to leave that now, come back in 24 hours and then we'll boil it on the stove. Okay, so welcome back to my kitchen again. I've got the stove on. Here's the wheat ready to do. Now I've taken the water from here, just poured it in the pan, and the pan's on boiling up now. So this is the wheat waiting to be boiled, and once the water's boiling in the pan, we'll add it in, and then we're going to boil it for 10 minutes. In the meantime, let's have a closer look at the wheat, shall we? Okay, so these are the grains of wheat. Let's have a look at these. As you can see, they're a nice size, and I've got to say they look very, very carby. And when the water's boiled, we'll drop these in and boil them for 10 minutes. Let's see how we get on. Okay, so as you can see, the water our wheat was boiling in is boiling away. So I'm going to add the seeds in. I will empty this bucket right out, but as you can see, it takes the water off the boil anyway, so we'll wait for it to come back up, and it's 10 minutes. So as you can see, so my bucket's over the front there, bucket's empty. It takes a while to get all the seeds out of here, but while the water's boiling up, if you get everything out and all into there, it's fine. Okay, there's the kettle boiling up. Just turn that off, and when this comes up to the boil, 10 minutes. Right, let's turn that off. The wheat is done. I'm going to turn the gas off. Give it no more than 10 minutes. And basically all we're doing is pouring the wheat back into the bucket. Yeah. Steam my glasses up. I'm sure I dropped a few bits as well, but I'll tidy them up. Okay, so lid goes on it, leave it to cool down, and that's the wheat done. So just to reiterate, soak for 24 hours, boil for no more than 10 minutes, and it's done. Okay, so now we're going to go back onto the bank, and I think you might like what's coming next. So stay tuned for that, and I'll take you through presentation. And then we're going to go fishing and catch a fish, and we'll see if the presentation works. Well, I know it works, but let's take a look anyway. Okay, now you've seen the preparation for wheat. Before we get on to the presentation, I just want to show you the buckets I did last night. Because I kind of tried to cut the video short on preparation at home to try and keep it more interesting, but some things need to be shown. Now, there's the watermark on there. You can see it going round there where the wheat is. That's off 4 or 5 cupfuls out of a little flask cup. As you can see, it's done an absolute ton of the stuff. So yeah, a few cupfuls goes an awful long way with this stuff. Just thought you should know that, because you know, you don't want to half fill your bucket and then put water on it and start preparing it from there, because it'll be over the top. Okay, so it at least triples in size, if not quadruples, by the time it's finished. So I just thought you should be aware of that. Okay, so now we've covered that, let's crack on with that presentation. Okay, so first fish of the day. As you can see, just lift that up. There's my little package of wheat. There we go, we've actually caught a carp on wheat. See if I can pop the hook out. There we go. There we go. Little packet of wheat. Okay, so here we are. We're fishing with wheat for carp. And first fish of the day. £14, 12 ounces on a little packet of wheat. And I'll show you how to make those packets now. Let's get him back. Okay, so you've seen how I've soaked and prepared wheat for fishing, and for carp fishing in particular. I've soaked it and boiled it, and now I'm out fishing with it. Now, when it comes to fishing with wheat, you can either fish an alternative hook bait over the top. So another particle works, tiger nuts, maize, chickpeas, maple peas, they're all on this channel already, and they'll all go well over wheat. But today, rather than fish another particle over wheat, we're actually going to fish with wheat itself on the hook. Well, when I say on the hook, what I mean is we're going to mesh it with this stuff which is called armour mesh from Fox. Now this is a cracking bit of kit, this, I must say. I'm going to do a separate review on this because it's that good. It's been one of my little edges for quite a while now because I'm a particle angler. It enables me to mesh up particles like hemp and groats and pigeon conditioner and stuff like that, and actually fish with it rather than fish, you know, an alternative hook bait over the top. If you're a spodder and you fish over spod mix and stuff like that, you can put your spod mix in this, mesh it up. You can put bread in it, anything that's soft that needs to resist the attention to small fish can be meshed with this stuff and fished on a hair. And basically it's like PVA mesh. So it comes with a plunger. I've got black coat on, so I'll move that to the side, but it comes with a plunger and it just looks like PVA mesh. Okay, and that's all it is. You're just making a mesh bag just as you would with PVA. So I've put my buckets up here on top of another bucket so you can see it. This is me wheat. You've seen what that looks like, and basically I just load a few grains into here so they all come out the bottom. And as you can see, there's about, I don't know, about 10 grains in there. I can squeeze them up tight and then just tie a knot in it, like so. I make another knot, a second one, and then snip between them, you know, so it's ready for the next one. And you just make your hook baits as you would PVA. So I'll get my snips, cut that off, and there we go. That's a perfect wheat hook bait. There's just a couple of grains in there, and I can take my boiling needle and just go straight through it like that. Brilliant. So you can actually fish with wheat, and you can do this with hemp and groats and pigeon conditioner and everything else that's a seed, or with bread, or actually on the packet it says tuna. It actually gives you the list of things that you can put it through: pellets, sweet corn, boilies, luncheon meat and tuna, because lads add tins of tuna to the spod mix. Put wheat in your spod mix and fish with one of these, because wheat's dirt cheap. You know, it's what, 40-45 quid for 20 kilos of hemp. 20 kilos of wheat has cost me £7.50, and it's great as a hook bait. So you can stick that on a hair rig. I'm not going to bother hair rigging it for you. You know, you've all got your own rigs. Mine's just a bog standard, you know, braided hook length of about 5 or 6 inches. I like to keep it short when I'm fishing over seeds because the fish won't move around as much. when I'm fishing with boilies, you know, I might put 20 or 30 boilies and I'll dot them about, and I'll fish a longer hook link, and the idea being you get the fish moving round from bait to bait till they pick a bait and then move, and they move off not knowing that they've got it. When I'm fishing with this, because the seeds are a lot closer together, I shorten the hook length quite a lot, so 5 or 6 inches on a hair rig, just a bog standard knotless knot hair rig, fantastic. So that's how I present wheat. Before this armour mesh came along, we used to use something called bogey from Kristen, which was a sticky material that you could stick seeds to, and then hair rig. This stuff's blown that out of the water. It's so easy to do. As you've seen, it's just a little packet of seeds that are made just as if you're making a mesh bag. It's so easy to use. If you want one of these, 14mm is the one you want for seeds like hemp and pigeon conditioner and stuff like that. There's one up 22mm as well for bigger baits, but the 14's the one you want. And there's a link down below underneath this video if you're watching on YouTube to Amazon, and you can get it on there. It's about £11–12, something like that. It's not expensive. You get 7 meters on a roll, so you can do loads and loads of hook baits with it. And yeah, it opens up all kinds of possibilities for you. So if you're struggling on a boilie water, and this is where I use it, on waters that are heavily fished with boilies, you're looking for an alternative. You know, you want to switch baits, use something else, get under their skin and under their defences. This is the kind of stuff that will do it for you. It's absolutely superb. So click the link below and grab yourself one of these. Right, how have I got on with this stuff? Let's take a look. Well, I don't recall that being part of the bank holiday weather. There's another one, and there's my little packet of wheat. As you can see, they really love this stuff. This is my 4th one today, and I think the 5th on this video, so you get the gist of it. Yeah, you get the gist of it. Carp like wheat, and it's easily presented in the armour mesh. Well, you'll have to excuse me, I've just got an absolute soaking, mainly due to this little fella. Oh, it's a low double, £11 4 ounces this one, taking on wheat again. Those little packages, they work really well. They'll even get you soaked when it's raining. Right, I'm not going to hang around, he's got to go back because I'm getting soaked. Well, it's still raining, and I'm still getting soaked, and I'm still catching. Another little one. on the wheat again. They really do like that stuff. Let's get him back before I end up even more like a drowned rat than I already am. Well, I reckon if there was ever a fish to end a video, it'd have to be a pretty one like this. What an absolute beauty. It's only £12, but it's a beautiful, fully scaled. And he's been tripped up with one of those little packets of wheat made with the fox armour mesh that you've seen before. So wheat, it's a cracking bait. You know, I've fished with it quite a few times. You certainly catch fish with it. And regarding the armour mesh, you can use anything in it really. Pigeon conditioner, hemp, you know, they all work. And you know, if it's fishing hard, it can get under their skin. So up here on the right or the left, depending on which way you're looking, is a video about hemp, preparing hemp with a flask. Nice clean way of doing it. And here is a video on pigeon conditioner. Both go great in the fox armour mesh, so give them a look. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Tight lines.